What's up everybody and welcome back, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. Today we are reviewing the Crf300l Rally. So far I've loved this bike so much. It's great on the trails when you got the big beefy tires, and it's also great when you're going on back roads, or even if you're just doing a little commute to like wherever you want to go. It's just a great all-around bike because it's a dual sport, but mainly more for like back roads and trail rides. If you're looking for more road bike, probably adventure bike and stuff like that, which are still very capable on the trails. But let's get into it. I so far have loved a CRF 300L Rally. The main difference is if you're looking in between the CRF Rally and the just normal L is these body panels, just a little bit wider up here, and you got a bigger body panel down here that goes underneath. The other one does not have any of that right there. It's smaller here, doesn't go out as far, and has a smaller gas tank. I didn't like that, so I went with the Rally because it has a bigger gas tank and it's more of a road bike. Even though it has the same engine, it just got a bigger gas tank for longer distances. And yeah, I would pick the Rally over the L, even if you are going more trails. But if you just want a dirt bike that's road legal, I guess the L is really good too. But let's get into some good upgrades, and we'll start off things with the tires. So these are D606 tires. They're a little more grippy for the trail riding and stuff. I love them if you're doing trails and stuff, but if you're doing more road, I would keep the stock ones or just get a little more, not more grippy ones, but just like more grippy than stock tires. These are great. I'm probably gonna switch back to other ones because they're a little too knobby for me. I don't do as much trail riding as I thought I was, so yeah. But if you're doing any sort of trail riding, these D606 tires are amazingly grippy, and they are. So I think they're a good investment if you like going on trails a lot and just like off-road kind of stuff. But if you're going on asphalt and stuff, I wouldn't say they're the best. They're not gonna last nearly as long. And now I guess we're going straight from the tires to the sprocket. I got a lower sprocket for more off-road, like trail riding. And it does reduce your top end quite a bit, but it gives that first gear a lot more snort, and second gear more snort. Just everything a little bit more torque. You can just go like 5 miles an hour without needing to pull in the clutch. You can just like super low end, and yeah. I think the chain's a different one as well because of the sprocket. I wouldn't recommend doing that unless you're going with a trail, like if you're going on a lot of trails, like same with this. If you're looking for more like just back roads, I would just keep the original sprocket. Might switch back to the original one just because it's a little low end and I want more of that top end, even though with this you can still go like 80. Now moving on, right next we got the exhaust. This is the Yoshimi exhaust. I'm probably butchering that name, awful, but I love this. I think this might be the cleanest upgrade on this bike with the carbon fiber and the design of the logo. They did a really good job on this. I just think it looks awesome on this bike, and it makes it sound super good. The original exhaust is just a little like plop, 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 plop. It's just like, sounds like, yeah, it's not nearly as good as this one. So I would recommend, if you have the extra budget, to get this one. I believe it's around 600. I'm not quite sure. I think you can get a bolt-on exhaust, but I believe this one is a full exhaust. And I think it's titanium just because it's starting to get gold and stuff like that in the exhaust, like where it's coming out, which is very cool. I think it looks very cool like that. But it can also have some burbles when you have a tune on your bike and stuff like that. So I think it's a very good option. Adds a little bit more torque. Probably not a little bit more torque, but a little bit more power because it has more airflow coming out. I think the other one is very restrictive. So that's a good thing to look in if you have a little extra budget. moving on, right next to the exhaust is this. It is like a little rack system, or if somebody is willing enough to sit on the back of this, you have little pull-out tabs right there you can do, and they can grab onto these handles right here, or you can just strap a bag across on these handles, which is very useful and just very neat. Just a little something. I think it's like $45, a little something to get on, and it just adds a little bit more thickness to the end because you're not using this, and you can just put stuff on there. So that's a nice little thing. I think for how cheap it is, everybody should get it. It just adds like more storage space, since there's not a lot of storage space unless you have a backpack. Moving up here now, I thought it was a little low. The handlebars were a little low, so I got this handlebar raiser from I forgot the website, but we got a handlebar raiser right here. And I like it because you're more upright on this bike, so it adds like just a little bit more ergonomics. I feel like it feels a lot more natural than having your hands all the way down there. And if you stand up when you're going through rough terrain and stuff, it helps a lot. Same with these crash pads I added. That's the brand right there if you are interested. I think this is a need to get. That one is probably most helpful and like the thing you probably need the most, or not need the most, but is the most useful for the price. And next we have this BMW Navigator. You do not need this. I don't use it that much. You can use your phone. I would probably recommend just getting a mount, but this is really good if you don't have a lot of signal, or you're going through downloading stuff and going through off-road stuff. Board where you see your speed and everything. What's nice is some bikes actually don't even have a RPM indicator or gear indicator. That's nice that something that this dirt bikey has it. I like it quite a bit. You can see obviously turning signals and everything, just all sorts of stuff. Very good fuel efficiency too, 76 miles per gallon. And when I've been driving this, I've been just like absolutely going at high RPMs because that's how I like to ride it, and it will last a long time. Another thing, a niche thing, but this is a little charging port that you can use when you're doing your when you mount your phone up here, and you can plug it in just right down there. That's just a neat little thing you can do if you're going for longer rides and stuff. And the one last thing that I've done to this bike is actually put a ECU tune on it from 505 Performance, I believe. But because of how much more snort it has, I would really recommend getting that for if you want to do more performance stuff on this. Or not more performance, but if you're looking for more power, it is a very good thing. The tune on it, it just makes it like sound better, I think, and it just makes it have more snort and more power, just to have a little bit more of that oomph, like since it is a 300cc motorcycle, or rather 287, I believe, it is very nice to have that on. But that's all the upgrades I've done to this, and yeah. But I think even with the stock bike, it is a great bike for beginners as well. And then if you want a little bit more power, you can just do some of those upgrades along the way just to add a little bit more stuff. But I think this is a great bike. Or if you're wanting to get into more motorcycling and do like, I don't know, a Harley or a sport bike, you could start off with this because they hold the value very good and they last forever. You could keep it and just do off-road sometimes, and then a sport bike other times. They're really good Hondas. They last forever. So I think this is a very good option for all beginners and expert riders to do some more stuff and upgrades on it. Just a very, very versatile bike. I think it's one of the best dual sports out there because there's a lot of adventure bikes but not a lot of dual sports. So I think if you're looking for off-road and a little bit of like on-road to get to your spots, I think it's a great bike for it. Great pick. And one other thing I just remembered is this plate. The other plate design went all the way down here. It was just like, in my opinion, very ugly. So we got this little one that's very neat and just like tight and put away with the little light up there. I think that's very nice. Just makes it look like, I guess, more aggressive because you can see more tire, and just a lot cleaner and a lot more durable. The other one breaks quite a bit since it's plastic. This is metal, very sturdy and stuff, so that's good. And then a little feature about this bike, this is an aftermarket, but you can put all your stuff in here, like phone, wallet, and stuff. It's that big enough for that stuff. Perfect size actually, and all your registration and everything if you want to take this on the road, since it's a road legal bike, because that's kind of why you're getting it instead of a dirt bike. And another thing is these kickstands. This is actually custom made. I just put like a bunch of screws in it, but you can actually get those now on Amazon for like 20 bucks if you just look up Crf300l Rally kickstand accessories. You can just get that, because it makes it go up a little bit but also wide, because for how big of a bike, this little footprint isn't that good. So that just little thing makes it so much easier to trust the kickstand and actually get it down on like a steep hill or something. Or not a steep hill, but like I wouldn't trust it if it was stock on a hill or anything. So that's nice. That's my review. I would say in stars, I rate this probably in dual sport category, probably a 9. Yeah, 8.5, 9. And then if you're looking for more road bike, I'd probably rate it like a 7. If you're looking for road like stuff, like, or back road rather, like in between that and like non-busy roads, it's probably a 7. But it's a great all-around bike. It's just like in between everything. If you're not quite wanting to leap to an adventure bike and stuff, I also have an adventure bike. But this thing keeps up with it really well. If you have, like, if you're wanting to do more road, don't put a sprocket on it, and just keep it and get a exhaust and a tune, and that thing can go probably like 95 easy, or like, yeah, 95 or 90 with the exhaust and the tune on it. So I would really recommend getting a tune, if anything, just to add that little bit of oomph if you want to go more on the road. But yeah, that's my honest review on it, because I also have an adventure bike, but I love this thing more because you can just, a lot lighter, a lot easier to ride for somebody who's lighter. It's a great, oh, also height. Last thing, height. It's very good for height. Like, I am about a little bit almost flat foot, and I am 5'8", 5'9", 5'9" and a half, maybe around there. So it's very, like, it don't have to worry about height if you're around that range, and it has an adjustable spring. If you're lighter or heavier, you can adjust that. So many things for like the price it's at. And this is another thing, I promise sound clips in the end, and we are delivering. So obviously start up right there, and this is a cold start. One last thing as well, I forgot to mention this. This is a seat concept seat. Got the almost like the carbon fiber print, which I like because it matches the front panel up here. My bad for how dirty it is. I haven't cleaned it in a while. But this front carbon fiber, and if you add the exhaust, it matches that too. Right there at the tip, it matches that too. So back to the seat. I very much think you should get this. This is like, I'm not quite sure how much it is, I forgot, but I would want, like, this is the thing to get. It's just so much more comfortable and more contours to your leg and stuff. So, and it's very wide back here if you want a passenger, or if you, it feels a lot better and it's a lot more comfortable. Like, it's a lot better for longer rides and everything. So I would very much recommend getting this thing. A lot of talk about just a seat, but that's the thing you're sitting on the whole time. So I would really recommend getting a seat, concept seat. Very good. Yeah. This is the very last thing as well. If you're a new rider and you're looking to get any gear, I would recommend this. It's a dual sport helmet from this brand. Very good. I like it quite well. Very good brand, but it just got a little visor you can pull down and stuff. Just very neat. Yeah, it looks cool. It got a lot of airflow. Yeah, I would recommend this if you're going for this bike and you're looking for a new helmet. So yeah, just very nice, comfortable as well. Once you get it broken in, it's very comfortable and fits this bike very well because it's more of a dirt bike kind of helmet. So just look at that brand and you'll probably find it, and it's relatively cheap for helmets.